Hello, I'm Simon. Welcome back to the workshop. Now, I recently came across this old level. Now, as I understand it, it's made by a J Rabone and Sons, who were from Birmingham in England, and it's made of mahogany and brass. Now, it's in a bit of a sorry state, but I'm hoping that I can restore it to something that I can be very proud to own and use. Now, with all my restorations I've done in the past, I've always done restorations that are sympathetic to the use that the tool has had, and I'm going to do the same with this. I don't have any family connection to this, but it is a very nice tool and it's very weighty, so it's going to be something that I'm going to use in preference to my plastic levels once I've restored it. It has a few little problems, like these little screws look like they're rusted or corroded, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to unscrew them or not, so we'll have to work out how we're going to do that. And the screws on the back, these little brass plates are a little bit loose, and the screws do actually protrude slightly from the back, making these brass plates pretty useless. So I'm hoping that I can just screw those down, but I'm going to take the whole thing apart and then see what we're dealing with, and then we'll work out how we go about cleaning this up. I'm going to start by having a bit of a scratch around with my scribe just to see if I can define the slots on these screws a little bit better before attempting to unscrew them. Now, a quick look on eBay shows that these levels aren't particularly expensive. They're probably very common, and they go in good condition from anywhere from £15 to £45. This particular level has been branded with the name of the company that presumably purchased the level, and that company is MH&Co Limited. I'm guessing they were a builders in the 30s. Where I live, there was quite a lot of building work went on in the 30s. Whole new towns were built between the First and Second World Wars. So if you live in the southeast of London and you know who MH&Co Limited were, then let me know in the comments. If you're enjoying this video, then please consider subscribing. It's completely free and would really help me out a lot. Well, that is rock solid. I'm not sure how I'm going to get that out. I've put the piece in the vise and I'm going to give it one last go using the vise as well. It's just not budging. And you can see here that the head of the screw protrudes above this plate, which presumably is here to act as the hard surface for creating the level. And you can see that it's protrudes a little. You can also see that it's not tight. This plate actually moves. Now, I think probably what's happened over the years is that this screw was probably at the right height. The wood has slowly shrunk over the years, and that's given it this looseness. But because this screw has been in here for pretty much, I guess, 80 years, maybe 90 years, it just doesn't want to budge. I think I'm just going to research removing brass screws from old equipment, see if there's any advice that the internet can provide. So the impact driver has shifted the screw so that it now turns, but it seems to just spin. It's not actually undoing. Success. So now I've worked out the technique, I'll use that on the other side. First using some penetrating oil to lubricate the screws, and then after 30 minutes I'll have a go with the impact driver. So if we look at these screws, we can see they are very badly corroded. I can hardly see the threads on some of them. I think that I'm going to have to buy new screws. So I'm not trying to get a factory finish here. I don't mind a bit of patina to show that the thing is old. I do want to get it back into serviceable use and looking like 100-year-old level, which is what it is. If you've got any thoughts or questions about what you're seeing, then leave them in the comments below. This is a hobby for me and I enjoy reading your comments and responding to them. I can normally respond pretty quickly because it's a small channel. So I'm thinking that by coating this in acetic acid and just leaving it a little while, it might remove the deeper bits of dirt that are in the patina of the piece where it's been knocked and banged over the years, so that I can take out the dirt but keep a little bit of that texture on the metal. So I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I'm going to soak it in acetic acid for about an hour, keeping it moist using this tissue. To clean up the wooden body, I'm just going to gently sand it using 220 grit. I've used my digital level in this direction and in this direction to make sure that this is perfectly level, and I've done that by propping it up on one side with some shims. These are shims I use on my mini lathe, and they're basically a set of feeler gauges. So now that I know that this is level, I can put the level onto this and see if it's true, and that looks perfect to me. Looks like this vial with the bubble level in has been stuck into the groove just using putty, and because it's perfectly level, I'm not going to adjust that. I'm just going to clean this glass up with a little bit of soapy water. If we look closely, we can see that the silver backing on this has corroded. I don't know if that's inside the vial or on the outside of the vial, but I don't really want to change it because I don't want to take the glass vial out and risk it breaking. And given that it is also level, that's another reason to leave the vial where it is and to just live with that little bit of corrosion. Interestingly, the acetic acid has left a little green film, which I'm now going to get off using some wire wool. If anyone knows what chemical reaction this is, then let me know in the comments. There's two little dents that I need to try and take out. One is here and it's raised, and one is here and it's lowered. So I'm going to take it over to the anvil on my engineering vise and see if I could just tap these out. That's as good as it's going to get. I then polish all the brass with the aptly named Brasso. And with that done, I can begin putting some finish onto the body of the level. And I'm using my favourite finish, Danish oil. So it turns out these original screws are steel, not brass. I've bought brass screws. These are metric ones. I'm guessing these screws were originally imperial. So they're slightly different, but not by much. So I'm going to have to modify them slightly, just so they don't protrude from the holes in the plates. And the head on this screw is exactly the same size as the steel screw, but it does protrude slightly. So I'm going to sand it down so that it doesn't protrude in the hole here, so that it doesn't get in the way of the function of the level. It's literally half the thickness of a piece of paper too thick. The original holes are quite large, so I'm going to fill them first before screwing the plates back in. I've finished this and I'm really pleased with how it came out. It looks gorgeous and it is pretty functional. It looks exactly the same, or it's registering, it's measuring exactly the same as this cheap level. Now this cheap level has a lot going for it. It's got a little hole so that you can hang it on the wall. It's got a magnet so that you can connect it to ferrous materials. It has 3 bubble levels which you can read from either side and also from the front. And there's a groove on this side that you can use when pushing it against things like pipes. So it's got a lot going for it. It's very lightweight and it's very compact. This is pretty heavy. It's not very compact. And if you was to put this on a shelf that you was trying to line up and it was to fall off, whatever it hits is going to be damaged. Whereas if this falls off the shelf you're trying to line up, chances are it won't do any damage at all. So for a modern workshop, this might be the perfect tool. But I just think this thing looks gorgeous. I like the fact that it's 90 years old, that it looks cool, and it is perfectly functional. So I'm going to be replacing this level here in my tool tote for this level. And this will be my go-to level from now on. Because every time I use it, it's going to bring a little smile to my face. If you've enjoyed this video, then please leave a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, then please subscribe. If you know someone that might be interested in this video, then please share it with them. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.